It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeart Radio app. KFI AM 640, it is The Conway Show. It's Tuesday. Mark Thompson's in the house.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you, everybody. Please be seated.
Yeah.
I'm humbled and honored.
Ding dong with this guy. We took a tour of Jay Leno's garage. We'll talk about that.
What a day it was.
Yes,
I'm kidding. It was
unbelievable
terrific.
tour. But first, we start with the Burbank Airport and Alex Stone from ABC
I'm
News.
getting to talk to Alex Stone.
Alex, how you, bub? Ding
How are
dong
you
with
guys?
you.
That sounds amazing. You were in Leno's garage?
Yeah. I'm not a big car guy, but Mark is. And
I loved it.
Man.
I don't know, but I'm a guy. Shiny cars and big engines. I was into
The
it.
guy that gave us the tour, John, I was more into his stories than than the cars.
It was definitely
that guy was great.
It was the whole experience.
That guy was great.
Did
It
you
was
guys
not
get to
just the
drive any?
cars.
No, but at the end of the tour, I thought we sampled all the beer, but I guess that's a different tour.
That's why you're in such a good mood.
Right. But, at some of those tours, you do get beer at the end or whiskey at the end when you tour a plant,
You ever do the Coors tour in
right.
Golden, Colorado?
Yeah.
That's a nice. It used to be a nice tour. I don't think they give you the full. You used to get like three 20-ounce beers. You get three coupons, and then I don't think it's that way anymore.
Yeah, we took a tour of, what's the one in Boston?
Sam Adams?
Sam Adams. We took a Sam Adams tour, and it was with a guy named Malibu Dan. You may remember him from another radio station here in town. And he kept asking question after question after question during the tour. I'm like, buddy, we're just here to get to the free beer. You got to shut the F up.
That is true.
Well, he's talking
I'm
about
just really
like,
here for the freebie.
Yeah, he's like, where do we get the hops? He's like, who gives an F where you get the hops? We want the free hops, the free beer at the end.
But all these cars had stories with them.
Oh, they were great.
And so it was pretty great.
And Jay showed up during the tour.
It was great. It was like
Was he in
Santa
denim?
showing up on Christmas
Yes.
Eve. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah, it was great. And we were right next to Burbank Airport, which is a perfect tie-in for Alex Stone.
Yeah.
Nice segue. That was
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, so good news is tonight Burbank has enough staffing. Bad news is other airports don't. So this is all unfolding a lot quicker than what we thought. Remember last week we were talking about, TSA officers, air traffic controllers, that it'll take them a while. They'll begin calling in sick. It happens every time there's a shutdown. The last big one, 2018, 2019, like 34 days into it, the air traffic controllers begin calling in sick, and then that actually ended that shutdown because when it impacted New York and Florida, President Trump at that point ordered Republicans to make a deal. This go around, they're beginning to see the sick calls coming in, and Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, saying
we're tracking sick calls, sick leave, and have we had a slight tick up in sick calls? Yes. And then you'll see delays that come from that.
And he says when they are on duty because they're not getting paid, that there's other things on their mind.
What they think about as they're controlling our airspace is, how am I going to pay my mortgage? How do I make my car payment?
That's what you want your ATC members as they're clearing your flight to be thinking about. So today, the FAA says it does not for tonight have enough staffing for the towers in Chicago and in Nashville. Nashville just reported in, as their delays are going up like Burbank did last night, that they have a tiny bit of operation out of the Nashville tower. They're not completely closing it, but most of the operations are going to come out of Memphis for Nashville tonight. And then the center's handling regions around Vegas, Houston, Boston at Boston Center, and arrivals and departures in Newark, New Jersey. They've got staffing problems tonight. So it's going to be a rough evening there where all of those delays and cancellations are ramping up. But last night, it was Denver, Phoenix, and Indianapolis centers that had shortages where they had to limit the flights going through. And then nobody in the control tower at Burbank from 4:15 until 10 o'clock last night with all of the Southwest flights very quickly. They were backing up, waiting to get to the runway, waiting to get that clearance to go out. Spirit was sitting there, and Southwest and Delta and United and Frontier. And the average flight was delayed like anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, and a lot of the Southwest flights last night out of Burbank were canceled because they just couldn't get them out. This is what it sounded like as they were getting ready to close, and the last clearances were going out, and pilots were going, well, are you shutting down? Are you staying open?
Southwest 1971, Burbank Tower, still open for a few. Wind 190 runway 8, clear wind.
The audio from Live ATC, so that controller right there was trying to hurry everybody in before he turned off the lights and went home, and then they closed the tower.
Tower, Burbank Tower is closed. Monitor CTAP on 118.7.
But they didn't shut down the airport. The controllers 150 miles away in San Diego gave takeoff and landing clearances, but otherwise, guys, pilots were on their own. It was like you're landing at Harris Ranch in a Cessna, that they had to announce their location and intentions to warn other aircraft. So when they landed, they would then announce to no air traffic controller, just to everybody listening, that they had exited the runway and the next plane could come in. They had to announce when they were taking off to essentially say, watch out, I'm rolling. Everybody get out of my way.
Wow.
This Southwest pilot saying it.
Burbank traffic. This Southwest 737 2998, departing runway 15 at Burbank.
No air traffic
my
controller
God.
responded. He just said, I'm a 737 and we're rolling, we're departing, so watch out. So they had to get their clearances for their routes and everything by calling on the phone before they pushed back. They couldn't do that on the radio or electronically. So it's all very odd for a busy airport. But the passengers taking off out of Burbank saying,
That's a little scary to think about it that way, because you'd like to have somebody local that can see what's going on visually, right? It's a little scary, right? Like, I'm better run it myself.
But they had to do it last night. How many stories have we done in the last 2 years of close calls where air traffic controllers see it and yell, stop, 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 and they prevent disaster? And that's why they had to slow down and cancel a lot of flights last night, so they had fewer coming and going. But
Can you
we'll see
imagine,
tonight
though,
in Chicago and Nashville.
if there was an air accident and 300 people died?
That'd be terrible.
I mean,
if you had two planes, two 737s come together, each one with like 180 people on board.
That's unbelievable. You know, I've heard Sean Duffy speak before. He's the U.S. Transportation Secretary, and he keeps using that term, though, there's a tick up. Nobody stops him and says that's not the term.
Sir, can you spin that around?
Yeah,
uptick,
it's the
please?
uptick, Bob. But that's incredible that that modern aviation, that these planes taking off, and like 7 of them took off during that time when there was nobody in the tower, that they have to then, visually look at the runway and make sure there's nobody on it, and then take off with these 150 to 180 people on board.
Yeah, and SoCal Center was telling them generally, okay, you're good to go. It's clear in the area, go. But all their movement on the ground, and then just to confirm, and we were listening last night as all the LAPD choppers and the TV helicopters, they would say, okay, TV 7, Channel 7, crossing from left to right over the airport. We're going to be moving north.
Wow.
And they would just let all the other aircraft know, but they weren't talking to anybody. And then you'd hear LAPD come in and announce that they were going to be transiting to the south of the airport, again, just to let all the aircraft on the ground know, and Southwest doing it and United doing it, of now they've exited the runway's clear. They were doing it old school style. It worked. Is it ideal? No. And it slowed everything way down.
I'm going to ask Mark Thompson the question we asked Alex Stone from ABC News last night. Mark, you're leaving. You're going on a flight to New York. Would you rather leave out of Burbank with no air traffic controller or LAX?
Burbank.
I agree. That's what I said,
Not even close. Yeah.
I mean, that you can't say anything more about an airport than, I'd rather take my life in my own hands.
I mean, Burbank's like Mayberry compared to LAX. I mean, geez.
Yeah, it is rough. Buddy, I really appreciate you coming on, Alex Stone.
Yeah, Alex.
If you ever get an opportunity to do that Jay Leno's Garage, take it.
Oh, man, it sounds amazing. I'll be listening as you guys talk about it.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Stuff, man.
Man, is that a hell of a tour. There must be 250, 300 cars in that. I thought it was going to be like one big garage. I didn't know there was going to be building after building after building. It was huge.
Yeah, I knew it was expansive, and I knew it was exciting, and I was really anticipating it, and it exceeded all my expectations. It was spectacular. It was really great. And the other thing is, it's not just cars. We'll talk more about this this afternoon. Jay's going to, I think, call in. But the way they laid it out and all the artwork on the wall, these huge posters that are related. I mean, they're vintage, like from the time, original artwork, but done in that vintage style. Just brilliant. I mean, it's utterly magnificent.
I was going to play a game, and then Bellio and Crozier est all over it. I was going to play a game. Who could steal the most expensive piece of art or equipment from the garage? And Belly was like, come on, you can't do that. He's a friend. He gave us his tour for free. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess not. So
he said no pictures. And I said, turned to Sharon, I said, how much now, dude? Now, right after he said that, go, hey, can you get a shot of me with the, and he goes, no, I'm sorry, I'm serious, there's no pictures. I go, yeah. So just get a quick shot of me.
That's right, we should have pictures.
All I do is babysit. That's all I do.
I pulled up, and there was a car in front of me, and we're on a small street, one lane going north, one lane going south, and I'm behind a car, And the woman, I see as a woman, she had long hair, and it stopped in front of me, and she put it in reverse. And if she would have reversed, she would have hit me. So I honked, and I go with the F.
A polite honk?
No. I slam on, and I go with the Fs and the Bs.
Oh,
and
really?
I get out there.
Yeah.
And it was Bellio.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like such an a-hole.
No, did you?
How do you think she felt?
Well, she was doing something wrong.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
First of all, we had passed the entrance. So
that's right.
And I
So
knew
you had to
that
when you
was,
go do a U-turn, you don't back up.
You had to back up in the street where it's going the wrong way.
Listen, I'm not even argue it because somehow it will all be my fault. So.
Well, no.
Okay.
Only in this case because it is your fault.
You would have been ticketed for being on a street and reversing into the guy behind you.
I just wanted to say you both are welcome for me setting this up. I'm so glad, Mark. I know this was so important to you.
It was important
Tim,
to me.
I know you enjoyed it and stuff. So you both are so very welcome. I'm glad I could do that. You guys deserve it. You two are the best.
Maybe she was distracted by all the logistics that she had to plan.
There she goes. She just ripped her microphone out. God almighty. Did you hear that? Unreal.
Yeah,
all right. It's going to be a long night. We're live on KFI. It's Conway and Thompson. KFI AM 640. It's Conway Show. Mark Thompson's here.
Woohoo!
And we do have to give credit to Bellio, even though she made a driving blunder. She did put that whole thing together.
Oh, it was terrific. It was really terrific, and she did put it all together.
Yeah. Bellio, did you enjoy the tour?
I don't think she's speaking to you after
I'm going
after
in.
your rebellious
act. I've had it. I'm going in.
I'm going to.
No, she's going to keep speaking to us.
She's not in there, Tim.
Yeah, she's in there.
She's not in there.
Where is she?
Tim has gone into the hallway. Now he's going studio to studio looking for
Where is she?
Sharon Bellio.
The hell is she?
She might have legitimately been annoyed. I thought it was a bit, but she might have been legitimately annoyed.
Mike, make her have it in her.
I can never tell with you kids what's a bit and what's real.
Crozier was there. Did you enjoy it, Crozier? You enjoy that tour?
It was a total blast.
Yeah.
And as much as I had heard about it and figured it was going to be big, so much bigger than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's
so many more cars in it. Motorcycles.
Yeah, a whole room full of the biggest motorcycle collection of that particular model.
I think a total of 400 between bikes and cars.
Wow.
Not all of them there, but yeah.
And there's one car that he has. I don't want to say what it's worth. Well, I guess I can, right?
Sure.
He has one car that's worth anywhere between $28 and $35 million.
Oh, yeah.
One car.
Well, there have to be, those Duesenbergs and stuff, and we didn't ask them how much those were, but they have to be.
Yeah, that was the only car that we got a price on.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, some of these are priceless. I mean, they're one of a kind. There was a Bugatti back there that's literally the only one of its kind, and that wasn't the only one that was the only one. There were a bunch of them.
He has that car that's worth between 28 and 35 million is 2 cars away from the front door.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone wanted to steal a car, that was the one to take. What if he's ever had a car stolen?
That's a good question. I'm sure he has not. It seems pretty well.
They're pretty buttoned up over there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rules.
Yes.
No smoking. No drinking.
No smoking and no drinking you'll find on most museum tours.
Yeah, I don't like that. And then no photography.
No photography. I was surprised by that.
I learned the hard way that at LACMA, have you ever been there?
Sure.
LA County Museum of
Contemporary
Museum.
Yeah.
So I went with Steckler, and we had about I think we knocked off a 12-pack before we went to the museum.
Uh-huh.
And I was standing close to a painting, and the guy said, one of the guys who worked there, what do they call it?
Guards?
No,
a docent.
A docent.
Yeah.
Said, hey, could you back up from that painting? Please don't stand so close to it. And I backed up. I didn't care. And I said, why is that? Why do you not want people to stand so close to the painting? And he said, because if everyone stands as close as you did, and then, a million people breathe on that painting, it can affect the painting. And I said, oh, okay. That sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. And then I went outside, and there was a bar there, and Steckler and I had another one, and I had the cup with me, and I was going to just finish it before I walked in the museum. I just forgot I had it. And he says, buddy, you're out of here.
Wow.
You're gone.
You got thrown out of LACMA.
Yeah, you're not a museum type.
Yeah, well, he might have been right about that.
Yeah, I think he nailed it. All right, Bellio's back. Bellio, thank you for putting that together.
It was really special.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was great. Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
What was your favorite car? Or motorcycle?
It was that Mark. What was the one? The most expensive one in there?
Oh yeah,
that was the one you just were talking about.
The Volkswagen.
No, that's the one you're talking about.
Right.
35
the
million.
35 million.
Wasn't that a Ferrari or what was that? A McLaren?
McLaren, I think.
Yeah, man.
That sounds more like it. But 3 of my top 20 favorite women at iHeart were there. Morgan Cook.
Yeah, she's great.
From The Woody Show.
Yeah.
Gina Grad.
Oh, she's
from The
wonderful.
Woody Show. And Sharon Bellio. 3 of the... I have a top 20 list of women who work here.
That's a hat
Jay's
trick.
on the phone, Tim.
He is. Let's put him on.
Oh, he disconnected. He's going to call after the break.
All right.
Back to your favorite women here at iHeart.
Yeah, I have. So 3 of my top 20 favorite women were on that tour. I thought that was cool.
3 of your top 20?
Yeah. I got to have a top 20 list.
You haven't seen Tim is constantly revising that list. I always wonder what it was. I looked over. It's 20 names.
Yeah.
And he's constantly moving them up and down.
I do it during commercial breaks just when I'm bored. But Bellio, got to watch your P's and Q's. It's done on a chalkboard.
Yeah. You could be...
how times can change.
I mean, it was great that you hooked this up, though. It was
You
really a
would
dreamy
think that would
thing.
move me to the top of the list.
You're in your top 10. You're not.
I'm top 10?
Yeah, for sure. You don't think you are?
Sure.
You don't think you're top 10?
I think she thinks she's number 1.
Well, I don't think I'm number 1.
Why wouldn't you think you're number 1?
No, you could be number 1.
I don't think
who's
so.
going to be ahead of you?
No, if you leapfrogged, you could be number 1.
If I leapfrog.
That means you're number 3.
No. Leapfrogged.
Well, I'll tell you, it's, after tonight, there'll be room for number 1s because, maybe I...
Yeah. She decides to quit your list.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I quit your list.
You can't quit my list.
I'm quitting your list.
You can't quit the list.
I'm off.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. That comment has moved you, though.
Pivot.
It's given you some movement.
Yeah,
Has it really?
Yes, it has.
Well, I'm
100%.
I'm putting my top 20 list together.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
All right. I'm sure I'm top.
There's been some movement, especially after the comment with the car honking.
Wow, there's a lot of...
Yeah, you know what? I honked at you because I knew it was Bellio and I was just effing around.
Of course you did.
But the 2 guys from the Woody Show didn't know that I knew it was you.
Oh, they didn't?
Yeah, and they're like, wow, you run so hot when you drive. And he goes, I was thinking, what a-hole is doing that? He's loud on the horn and long on the horn, and then he's swearing at the woman in front of him. I'm like, yeah, I just get a little crazy when I drive. I had to look for the horn on my car. That's how often I use it. Like almost never.
Isn't it where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, but I never use it because I don't want to get shot. That's the quickest way to get shot.
It is. Using a horn now is different than it used to be.
100%.
Yeah.
You use a horn now, and you might as well just put a bullseye on your forehead because you could get shot easily.
When that horn went off, I was like, who the heck? I almost got out.
Yeah, I know. Crozier was getting crazy too. All right, we got to take a break. All right, we're live on KFI. It's Conway and Thompson.
Leno next.
Jay Leno on KFI AM 640.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It is the Conway Show. Mark Thompson is here.
Woo-hoo.
That's kind of a cool deal. And I unplugged my headphones, so let me if I can stick those back in.
You can do that. You're that big a star.
All right. Jay Leno is he with us or he's calling, right? Oh, cash call. I'm sorry.
So much going on here, huh?
I know. We got a little
frazzled.
Yeah, you could win $1,000.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win, W-I-N. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash. Powered by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. If you're hurt in an accident, winning is everything. Call the winning attorneys at Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-9-MILLION or sweetjames.com.
$1,000 could be yours if you're the lucky person chosen. All you got to do is go to KFIAM640.com/cash and then type in the keyword WIN, W-I-N. It's Conway and Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, our very good friend and our host today at Leno's Garage is... Oh, he's not? Oh, I thought I saw him calling. Right on. Okay, Jay Leno's going to phone us up here. He told us a series of about 3 or 4 really good jokes.
Yeah. Let's see. He should definitely open with them.
Yeah. And I'd never heard those jokes before.
Usually with comics, I think that they'll trade jokes from time to time, and then once in a while there's a stinker joke. And
That's right.
Jay's are all good, but there's a stinker, and then one of the other comics go, no, open with it. It's good. Open with it. It's their way of, the sarcastic way that the comics are. But in this case, I really do think you should open with it because it's really funny.
Speaking of comics, I can't tell you how many of those guys that went over to Saudi Arabia are getting roasted.
Oh, dude,
it's unbelievable.
Because they make such a big, they do within that community sort of hold themselves out with this kind of moral standard. Some
of them do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. And so it's a weird turn that they'll just sell out for the money. I mean, I get it, but, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, so if you don't know what's going on, about 20 to 25 very famous, constantly working household name comics.
Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle.
Right.
That level.
Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Maniscalco.
Mm-hmm.
But, these big names that you would know. They...
the Saudi Comedy Festival. We'll talk about it in a second.
Saudi Comic Festival. They go to Saudi Arabia, and they're getting a lot of crap for it. All right, a guy that did not go to Saudi Arabia, who would not go, is with us. Jay Leno, how are you, bub?
How are you, guys? Tim, some advice.
All right.
Look, guys, garage, see his car. Don't brag later. I don't know where the horn is on my car.
That's because I never use it because I don't want to get shot in Los Angeles.
No, I think you do want to use it. You honestly don't know where it is.
Oh, that's classic.
There is true.
Buddy, I can't thank you enough for that tour. That guy, John, the docent or the guy who runs your garage is terrific.
Yeah, John does a great job.
And he told us a story on how you guys met. That, back in the 1970s, you're riding around on or pushing a motorcycle, and he helped you out.
Right, that's right, yeah.
That's a great story. But I was also wondering, I know you got a great joke, but how come the car that's worth $35 million is so close to the exit?
Why is it so close to the door?
Yeah.
In case of fire.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. Tim feels it's a security risk being so close to the door. I
put the most worthless car down at the end.
Makes sense.
All right.
You talked about, John talked about how expensive a car that was, between 25 and 35 million. But we were saying that we didn't really talk about how much cars were worth for the most part. We just kind of heard the stories around them. And that Duesenberg and the one-of-a-kind Bugatti, and I mean, they have to be pretty much up there also.
Yeah, but then I don't sell anything, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. How many cars do you have in that garage?
Oh, you sound like my wife. No, I painted it. Remember, it was red? This guy painted it,
Because Mark and I think there's $1 billion worth of cars stuck in there.
Well, there's not $1 billion worth of cars. I like that. Everything is like a child with you guys. It's $1 billion. I don't know where the horn is.
I love how Jay ties it all together. Yeah.
Well, he's a comic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You got to do that. Hey, Jay, you got to tell us that joke you told us. That was one of the best ones.
The golf joke
of a long time.
All right, here we go. Really fancy Miami Beach Country Club, really high-end, 3 rich guys are playing, They go, we need a foursome. Then you see a plumbing truck pull up, and kind of disheveled guy's got some clubs. How about that guy? I don't know. He's not really one of our crowd. Come on. You want to join? Oh, hey, thanks, fellas. The guy comes over and goes, can I just make a call on the clubhouse? Right? They go, yeah, no problem. So the plumber goes off. The 3 guys got 3 rich guys got talking. One guy says, how's your boy doing? Oh, unbelievable. He's in real estate like me. Here's how successful he is. He gave his best friend a condo, a brand new condo, all paid for. Just handed him the keys. Here you go, buddy. Really? Yeah. How's your boy doing? Well, he's in the auto business like me. In fact, he's probably the biggest BMW dealer in South Florida. He gave his best friend a brand new top-of-the-line Beamer, every option, autonomous drive, the whole bit. Probably cost $2,500, $300,000. Unbelievable. The third guy, what's your son doing? Well, like me, he's he's dabbling in real estate. Well, dabbling. He gave his best friend a $100,000 stock portfolio, free of charge. Here you go, just for being his friend. It's unbelievable. And a plumber comes, you guys ready to play golf? Yeah. We're just talking about our kids. They say to the guy, you got any kids? Because I got a son. He's 22. Oh, what does he do? Well, he's a male stripper at a gay club in Fort Lauderdale. And the three guys go, really? Is there any money in that? Oh, yeah. One guy gave him a condo. Another guy gave him a BMW. Another guy gave him a stock portfolio.
That's classic. That is great. Jay, that was awesome, man. I'm glad you got into the airport safe last night. I know there was no air traffic controllers, but that didn't stop you from landing at Burbank, huh?
No, I had to use a light on my phone, coming in. But it wasn't bad. It was okay.
Right, and
the night there was no traffic, so we were the only plane landing.
Did you know that there was no air traffic controllers when you landed?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Wow.
You take a chance.
Yeah, I guess. Somebody at the garage told us something great. I asked somebody who works at your garage. I said, hey, Jay Leno doesn't have any kids. What happens, in 25, 35, 45 years when Jay's no longer with us? And he said that you always say, that's not your problem.
Exactly. That's not my problem. Hey, if I'm still here in 45 years, that's pretty damn good.
Well, I always like to give people the high end on those.
Yeah.
As opposed to 8 months.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but Jay, did it start that big, or did it progressively get bigger and bigger? Because that thing's like 2 football fields.
Well, think about it. What actually starts big? You start small and then you expand. I don't really sell anything. I just sell a key beverage. I watch the TV show Hoarders, and I go, what's the problem? Guys, it's fun.
And also, we saw in one of the rooms where you have a lot of the motorcycles in the back, where, it's the biggest collection of the motorcycles that, the Rolls Royce of motorcycles. And he said, right. He said that the furniture in that room was in your house. And now it's in that building. Like, you never get rid of anything. You're like me.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. One of my secretaries said they saw you rummaging through looking for medical records. What was that all about?
There were some papers out there, Tim.
I thought it was a Coke machine.
Let me ask you, because this is the last thing, because the origin story, though, of this thing that Tim was talking about, this collection, is interesting to me. We obviously always loved cars. You worked on cars. You kept cars as best you could, but you weren't always Jay Leno, this brand that was able to have a big garage. So what was the moment where you were actually able to get a garage? Like, where were you in your career where you were actually able to, not the big one you have now, but just even 4 or 5 cars that you were able to store?
Well, this may sound very odd, but actually, I always have been Jay Leno.
I'm not going to get a serious answer out of him, am I?
And I was born Dwight D. Eisenhower, and then, of course, I changed it later.
There must have been a moment when you were a club comic where you started making some money, and then you could start this thing. But however it started, man, it's spectacular. I was giddy after I left, just giddy.
Well, it's fun. I enjoy working on it. It's cheaper than cocaine and hookers,
That's right. Jay, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling, and it's always nice to see you. Look great, bub.
I'm trying to find the horn in my car.
Right. Jay Leno, everybody.
Bye,
Ding
Jay,
dong with that guy. Yeah. That's classic. Right. We're losing him. All right, Jay Leno, everybody. You have Flappers this weekend. Flappers this weekend in Burbank. Go see Jay Leno in Flappers on Magnolia and whatever street that is. We're live on KFI. It's Conway and Thompson. KFI AM 640. It's Conway Show. Mark Thompson is here. Did you see that there might be rain this week?
I saw that. It's like this subtropical moisture stuff, kind of a spinoff from a tropical storm to the south. Yeah.
And, anytime rain comes into Southern California, everybody has their opinion,
Oh, is that right? I love it.
I love it, too. Bellio's a big fan. It doesn't look like the San Fernando Valley is going to get any rain until Tuesday. So we have 1 week to prepare. 1 week to call Roof Buddy. 1 week to get the garage fixed. 1 week to get, whatever condition your house is in. Like I have to recalk the garage, the base of it, because the caulking dries up in the heat in the summer and it cracks, and then I got to redo it because I'm too cheap to buy the good stuff that can last more than 6 months.
I see. Wow.
I almost called him Steckler. Crozier. Do you remember, when the old caulking, used to cost like $1.65. You buy those tubes with the caulking gun.
Right.
And you never paid more than $1.80 for those things, ever. And now I went the other day to get them. They're $7 or $8.
Yeah.
For the cheap ones.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Tariffs.
Yes, it's all tariffs. But I don't like it. It costs too much money.
It does.
And that's why when you call a repairman, it's now $300 minimum.
You can't get anybody that's going to do anything on your house until you pay them money just to come out.
Yes, you're right.
And you ain't getting nothing back from that money, the most you can hope for. And then you're kind of forced into using them to fix it because that money will go towards the fix.
That's right.
It's like, okay, so anybody you come out, you're giving them a lot of money.
That's why I'd like to get Conway by the house, because there's just a little bit. It's not like a heavy punch list, but there are a few things.
I could knock that out.
I really do think you could. I think you could be in and out in 45 minutes. It would be great for our friendship, and I could throw you a couple of bucks on the way out.
Oh.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I called a guy to come out and fix my daughter's shower because it was leaking, and the shower door was leaking, and so he came out. It was $100 to get into the house. He said I could do it for $300. All right, here's another $2. He fixed it. He put some stripping on the bottom, and that was it. Right, maybe $8 worth of weather stripping. And next day, she took a shower. It leaked all over the place, and I'm out $300.
Oh, my God.
So I asked another guy to come out. He didn't charge any money, and he put a leveler on it, and he said whoever installed the shower has no idea how to install showers because it tilted towards the door. So all the water, instead of tilting back towards the back of the shower, tilted towards the front and to the door. And he said, you're going to have to take this whole shower out. And or you're never going to fix this. And I did end up having to do it. It was a lot. It was thousands and thousands of dollars. And then we had another water main break. And we've had in this house so far, we've had 12 incidents of water damage. A broken pipe, a pipe that wasn't there. There was just a pipe that was missing for the downspout or whatever. Another one leaked. Another one popped. The shower, my daughter's shower leaked. My wife's bathtub leaked. We have 11 different incidents.
That's wild.
11. And then I found out it was because the water pressure in our house is so tremendous that it's blowing these pipes away. So I had to just put a regulator on it, and I fixed everything. Bellio, you've come in. It seems like you have information.
No. You did enter the studio like a lawyer.
Oh, we got to take a break. Okay.
Papers.
We're live on KFI AM 640. All right.
Yeah.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.